That's a good point because today is an interesting day. Today was the morning I woke up, and I'll be honest with you, Marcus. When me and you say things, and when I look at Louisville Twitter, and when we say things like, "Okay, all right, well, Louisville to miss the tournament," well, you'll get a day or two of ha-has, and then it's over.
Right.
I think today officially marks we've moved on to next year. and, and now if you watch Louisville Twitter and myself, I have to admit, today I kind of woke up for the first time and was like, okay, not in the tournament. All right, let's figure out next year's roster.
Is it a bounce back day for Louisville Twitter? Keep talking for about 25 seconds so I can make a quick adjustment.
No, absolutely. And I think it is because, obviously we'll probably get into a little bit. Louisville's already landed one transfer, and Matt Cross. I think they're about to land another in the coming days or weeks, or whatever, and maybe another. But also we have some talk of rearranging the roster. Mm-hmm. Some guys are going to be on the move. A couple guys we're obviously interested in with Malik, Carleek, and David. And it just kind of seems like today was the day that people just decided, okay, on to next year. I mean, and not saying like they're not still upset, not saying that there's not going to be some pressure. I'm not saying hot seat. I'm not saying all that, but pressure on Chris Mack, and it's like, okay, I mean, this is what we do, and now let's figure out what are we going to look like next year, because October can't come soon enough at this point.
Here's the thing, Steve. Let me tell you, I agree with you 100%. Yours happened this morning, right?
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Mine happened at about 11 o'clock last night. See if you can turn that volume down a little bit. I'm getting a little bit echo on your end.
Okay. Yep.
Okay. It happened for me last night, probably about 8 o'clock.
Okay.
I got to tell you why it happened, Steve. If anybody's been listening to the commercials, I did an event with some Louisville dignitaries last night. We basically had a roundtable meeting about the state of athletics in the University of Louisville, right? And I'm talking about dignitaries. I'm talking about
and you
and me. I was like the reporter in the room of dignitaries. I was just
the richest guy in the room.
Listen, I was the minutes guy. You know what I'm saying? Like just taking notes in here. So I'm talking about Steve. So imagine you're dealing. Listen, I was terrified. I signed up to do a bracket selection show with the greats of the University of Louisville. I was terrified, Steve. Listen, I was making sure all of my stuff was together. I had my bracket stuff. I was just thinking about, what I need to say to everybody. And my brain was in a whirlwind. Keep in mind, I just had some stuff go on with Jalen that kind of had me distracted as well.
Absolutely.
As you can imagine. So I got this event coming up, right? And I get into the room, right? And it's Vince Tyree, it's Luke Whitehead, it's Sarah Hammond, it's Becky Burke, it's Tia Gibbs, it's Daryl Griffith, it's Wiley Brown, it's Coach Crum makes an appearance, Coach Walls making an appearance, Peyton Sieva's in there, Angel McCautry, Valerie Combs, Steve, and me.
God. I didn't know it was all that. Like, I was about to give you, hey man, give yourself some credit. Now I'm like, oh, dude. That's a lot of
Steve.
That's a lot of wins in there,
Steve,
man.
And me in that room.
Okay. Well, that's awesome.
And ironically, first thing Vince Tyree says, "Oh, who let him in here?"
And you're like, "Yeah, thanks, Vince."
Yeah, right. Yeah. Okay. Okay. You want to play tough? I'm gonna obliterate you on the radio.
You're like, oh yeah, well your hires suck. Like, Jesus, Marcus, calm down.
Hey, everybody, let's do a approval rating on Vince Tyree all day today for 2 hours straight.
and I'm kidding. I think Vince is doing a great job.
Doing a great
job. I know.
Okay, but yeah, I'm already nervous.
Just, you know how when you get when somebody really pisses you off, so you go straight for the jugular.
You're right. So what do y'all think about Vince? Right. So here's the thing, Steve. I'm in this room and I'm listening to winners, Steve.
Man,
I'm listening to win. I mean, listen, you know how much I despise loser mentality when you don't have to be a loser. You know what I'm saying? Like when you're losing and then you say something loser, I'm like, okay, I get why you're, loser mentality, but I can't be, number 15 in the country and we'll see in February to see if he melts down again. I'm just like, listen, that's a loser. That's just a loser.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? What big time wins does he have over other than 3 or 4 of Duke games and a couple of Michigan State games and Roy Williams blowouts? And
like what I just said, when I said October can't come soon enough, there are people that are like, I don't care what he does from October to February.
Right. Right. Like, and listen, here's the thing, Steve. They won't do it by themselves. They have to make sure they say that on every social media platform they can get their hands on. I don't care, so nobody else should care either. Hey, Marcus, did you know I didn't care about anything that goes on until the last 3 games that are usually Florida State, Virginia, and North Carolina? That's all I care about. The rest of I don't care about anything else. I only care about the losable games.
And real quick, I want people to know, just so just to give context, we're jumping off like this. I haven't spoke to you outside of
no, we haven't spoke. Oh yeah, that's right.
Since yesterday's show, outside of a text you sent me last night, which I'm sure you'll get to, and then this morning, hey Marcus, check out 2 minutes of this video. It's funny how we're kind of on the same wavelength this morning, and it's like we've done no prep whatsoever. I mean, I've been down here. My mother-in-law's down here. I've been kind of entertaining her, hanging out. Well, the wife was at work. We went out to dinner last night with the baby, all that stuff. So like we legitimately haven't really talked at all.
Right.
Yeah. So for us to kind of be on the same, because I'm feeling your vibe coming through the and I'm like, okay, he feels like I feel today. Okay.
Listen, because and this is the serious part of it. I listened to Vince Tyree go through real emotional protocols. Like he spoke to other winners like I speak to the 93.9 listening public. It's like just the way he said, can you imagine how bad David Johnson's hurting right now? Basically saying y'all can't imagine how bad he's hurt. These guys aren't just okay. When Vince Tyree's explaining how they're getting off of a bus and everybody has to go to their own rooms with a box lunch and they cannot be around each other on these road trips. Wow. Literally, like this is, you're talking about, and I'm going to use this phrase, right? And somebody's going to roll their eyes because they lack empathy or they're jealous or something like that. Oh, so big deal. You go stay at a Hilton and you have to stay in your own room. Sucks for you, right? Like that guy. Like it's not a big deal to spend 4 months of your life isolated outside of the time we get on the court. When we lucky enough to get time on the court, we literally have to Instagram and FaceTime each other from different rooms in a hotel from the second we get there. And he just kind of like talked about that. And I'm like, you know what? This situation sucked, but they fought to get through it. And I'm still, and then he says at the end, we're still extremely disappointed and listen, not making the tournament is not acceptable. I'm paraphrasing, you know what I'm saying? So he still had the energy of, we got to fix stuff. We're constantly fixing stuff. But his energy was also like, slow down here, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, watch your mouth a little bit, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and then I listened to Griff just, listen, people make fun of us for saying they really like each other or they're a brotherhood or they, you can tell they're close. And that's fun. Listen to Griff say, we won a national championship because we loved each other. Wally Brown says this in this room. Well, listen, the fact that we still send texts to each other to this day, right now, is why we won a national championship. like all the cliches, all the other stuff. And listen, when Becky and Tia and Sarah started talking about Coach Walls, I'm feeling pressure in the room. Like, you better get this man an extension again. They were just like, we are always the most prepared team on the court, and we know it. Just listening to that, I'm like, look, I know you sold some stock, Steve, but I'm like, we might want to pick up a couple of shares here.
Yeah.
And again, that was how inspiring it was to listen to all those voices. Again, Vince goes first. Luke Whitehead did a phenomenal job emceeing the event. You know, he was well prepared. You know, like I said, it was a nice round table, nice, good discussion. Everybody was very, very, very thankful and appreciative. And Peyton. Now, and how am I just now getting to Peyton? He's over in Berlin, and I'm like, stop comparing Peyton to anybody else. Don't look. I might stop comparing players altogether from different eras, because I saw Peyton on there and I just forgot how much I loved him. Right?
Yeah.
Just listen. It's 5 a.m. in Berlin, and he's up doing an alumni event with us. He could have listen. Here I am coming up with excuses like, yeah, my son just got paid, so I might not be able to make the event. And Peyton's like, yeah, we just finished playing, the rival, about 3 hours ago. I just got home. It's 5 a.m, but I'm glad to be here. Right? So you had all that energy in one room, Steve. And I'm like, you know what? Let's go. Let's get back to it.
When Peyton Siva pulled me aside in a charity game and said, Rummage, come here. All right, yeah. He's like, hey man, look, I've watched you play for about a quarter now. Like, you belong out there. Stop being so timid. Like, shoot the ball. Like, like it was like, I was like, okay,
yeah, like
all right.
Think about how good of an energy that is for somebody to just say he did not have to. Wasn't he coaching against you?
No. He was my coach.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, he was assistant coach, right?
Yeah, to my actual coach, Crump.
Right. So yeah.
But no. Peyton's awesome, man. I do agree with that. Roger
Berkman in there, and he's great. Like, he's phenomenal already.
Oh yeah.
Listening to Griff talk about, we knew Roger could come in and get a stop when we needed it. We knew this guy, and we love each other, and it was just like, you know what? I've been telling people right on the radio, and this alumni event that I was terrified about just confirmed everything I was thinking. This stuff is not cliche. This is winner talk. And this is why I get angry at people who just want to be negative, because I'm like, you spreading that negative stuff all around this city is contributing to losing.
But I will say this. I think today and in the coming days, you are starting to see what is emotion and what is I'm just going to hate on everything that Chris Mack does. Because I think you're going to see a lot of people in the coming days, or even today, say, you know what, I was really pissed off over the last few days over not making the tournament. Because like I said, Louisville fans, including myself, I mean, when literally 92% of bracketologists are saying Louisville's in for sure, then it was a shock. Like, Louisville fans weren't, like, when David Padgett didn't make it, and the times Louisville hasn't made the tournament in the last the 2 times that they've went to the NIT in the past 20 years or whenever, I think it was 20, you're right, at 17, 18, you knew it. You knew when the selection show come on, you're like, we're not in. Like in 06, you're like, we're not in. And David Padgett, we're not in. That's not even a question. This year, I think Louisville fans, they thought they were in. I mean, even to the last Maryland at 10, it was like, okay, this is us. No, it's not. And I think that I'm okay with somebody that, and I think you're going to see a lot more of them. They just say, dude, I've just been mad for the last few days, man. Like, and I get it. And who am I going to blame? The coach. I mean, okay, I feel you.
And I can't sit around blaming the kids all day.
So I'm not here to anybody that said anything bad about coach is wrong. Like, dude, I mean, coach deserves some criticism, sure. But I do think that there's enough there that you look at and you go, okay. I mean, Louisville, do you know, I've heard Drew Diener say it. We're just one season removed from being 8th in the net going into the tournament.
And you lost the whole team.
And you lost that whole team. I mean, that team had a shot, man. They were 8th in the net. So I do think that there is going to be a mass of people today and over, especially once you see the first tournament game and it's like, okay, this is the tournament. Now, you know, it kind of sinks in like, okay, the tournament has went on without us. You know, you move on. Even yesterday, there was still the 1,000,000 to 1, you know,
right.
Dumb and Dumber. So you're saying we have a chance all the way up until 6 o'clock.
Right.
But I do think, I mean, do you agree with that?
Yeah, 100%.
That there is some that emotion, it was just emotion. Now there's some that's just, look, and you just don't like Chris Mack, and okay. I mean, okay. There's something I can do for you. You're going to pick him apart. You're going to pick everything he does apart. And okay, well, we can go back and forth on that. That's what sports radio is all about. So, okay, sure. But I do think there's going to be a mass of people that's just like, dude, I've just been emotional the last few days. Now I can start to level head, look forward. Now I can look, okay, Louisville's about to get a transfer. What do I think about this guy? What do I think about these guys coming back? Okay, these guys are leaving. Okay, Malik's coming back. Carlik's going.
No,
David's
it's roster management time.
That's where we're at now, man. Welcome to Roster Management Radio, because that's now where we're at, because fans are ready to fans move on, you know, and it's like fans move on, and we're not in a position yet where it's fire coach, you know. It is the day you find out you're not going to make the tournament and the day after, when it still stings. But now it's roster management. Get it together. This is a big off season for you. Now, I'm not saying, again, I'm not repeating myself, or I'm trying not to repeat myself here, but I'm not saying there's not some pressure to kind of like, okay, come on now, like, let's see it. But
no,
when I
go with a sample size, it's just like anything else. Now we're getting film on you. Now we can pick you apart. It's just, that's sports. Coach Mack has been here 3 years. We're starting to get film. You know, just so any other team, you start to, like, it's like a kid getting recruited. The reason we say, you know, the NBA drafts guys they haven't seen or haven't had a lot of film on, because you don't have enough time to pick them apart. That's why we say guys should leave early when you got a shot, because the less film you have, the less room there is for criticism. So over time, again, you want to read, you just for sake of, we'll do. I was going to ask you to read the text message I sent you, but you know, we'll go to that later on. That I'm sure that'll be a good point at the back end of a conversation or something like that. But again,
sure.
Yeah, more tape we see, more, you know, more exposure, more picking apart, more complimenting. Go ahead.
Well, let me, I know what you're talking about. I'm going to kind of go there without going there. Rick Pitino come in and took the Louisville job as a former national championship winning coach at the biggest program in college basketball. I mean, don't like saying it, but it's true. And a former Knicks head coach, a former Celtics head coach, had already taken a Providence team to the Final Four, had coached under Jim Boeheim. He comes in his first 3 years, NIT, second round loss, by the way, with a team that was ranked number 2 during that season.
Could you imagine?
In Chris Mack's second year, we were ranked number 1. So it, you know, I mean, okay. In year 3, a first round loss. That's what Rick Pitino did in his first 3 years as a uber experienced coach coming in.
I listened to Peyton Siva say this, and it knocked me off my feet, Steve.
That's what I was going to say. I knew that point can kind of lead you into that.
Peyton Siva, a winner, was talking about, yeah, man, because for the first 2 years, we lost in the first round.
No, Peyton Siva only won a national championship.
No, he said it, Steve. He said it, and I'm like, you never lost a game. You never lost a tournament game. What are you talking about? No, I'm sorry. Look, when Peyton said that, I said, no, you only went to a Final Four and won a championship. Nothing else happened.
Yeah, no, that was it.
No, and he said, no, I lost first round 2 years in a row,
and got beat. Was down 30 at one point in his first tournament game to a 9-seeded or an 8-seeded Cal.
And then what happened the next year?
And then the next year got upset by Morehead State.
Yeah,
I mean that career's tanked. You're done. 2 years, you're done. How could you bounce back from losing an 8-9 game by, and I don't know, I think we ended up losing by like 19, but we were down 30 in the game.
How does a coach survive that one? How does a coach at Louisville survive that one, Steve?
Yeah.
Like literally.
Yeah. I mean, look, you're I mean, is it not like, and my point is like, again, okay, if you want to argue, the one argument I'll listen to is Rick did have the national championship before. But okay, and that's fine. Like, okay, he had a little cachet there.
Mm-hmm.
But Rick Pitino, like I said, we're talking come right into Louisville. And I remember as a young, not a child, but a middle schooler, we got Rick Pitino. I mean, I remember my dad, everybody. Louisville, by the way, national championship. Like, I mean, you know what I'm saying? My papaw, who was a big time Kentucky fan, was like, man, of course, my papaw had a little racist, but it was so he was just waiting for somebody to come in and take Tubby out. But he was like, my papaw was just like, it's over. You know, like it's Rick Pitino's at Louisville now. Like they're about to win the championship every year.
He wasn't going to give Tubby a real good chance.
No. Tubby won with Rick's dudes. Period.
Right.
And Rick Pitino now was going to slay that giant. Yeah, it was over. But it was like, as soon as they took over. And no, it was NIT, second round loss, first round loss. And listen, they didn't lose in the first and second round to 1 seeds. You know, like they lost to Xavier and no.
Oh, at the beginning.
Rick's.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Rick's other year, Butler and Xavier. So, and if you don't remember the little white kid at Butler that lit us up, like that's who they lost to in the first 3 years. So again, that's where I think people today allow themselves to sit back and go, okay, now look, hey, I feel you. In 3 or 4 years, whatever, all the stuff's gone, whatever, and we're still just Louisville's, every once in a while they've got a top 4 seed. Most years they're a 10-9. Okay, then let's indulge. Like, that's not the program we are.
8150-93.9. Feel free to jump in here. Have you turned the corner? What is it going to take for you to feel like you are turning the corner into a new season? Do you have to get through the tournament first, see the national championship and say, yeah, we weren't going to beat them? And then like some people need the tournament and need to see the best teams play and say, okay, we weren't going to beat them. I think some people watched conference tournaments, Marcus, like myself, and said, okay, we're a little young for that. Yeah. I just want to know where people's line are. Have they hit their line already, or is it still like I need to see a tournament game and just to kind of put that thing to bed?
Once the ball is tipped,
already hit it. Let me take this real quick.
You thought it was Ball State over Butler.
Maybe. Lawrence, thanks for joining us on 93.9. Fire away.
I cannot turn this corner until I know what the roster is next year, because for the last 3 days I've been kind of obsessing on what the roster is going to be. You know how many things, how many combinations I've been writing on paper. So hopefully we
Lawrence, Lawrence, let me say this. To me, that means you've turned the corner. If you sat around the last day or so and wrote down roster combinations for next year, do you understand what I'm saying? Like, because I feel you. That's what I've been doing. Like, and I'll let you finish your point there. But I mean, like, Marcus, do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
If Lawrence has sat around the last day and a half and wrote down roster combos, like, then yes, I think you've. It's okay to say, look, I'm expecting results next year. So go ahead. What did you come up with? What worries you? What did you come up with?
Well, I've been trying to figure out if David Johnson and Carly Jones come back, what the team's gonna look like. If they don't come back, then who's gonna come in, who's not gonna come in? Because plus when you said about the youth man guy, I also wrote down what he would look like on the team too at what position. So I'm still trying to find out the ifs and buts, and I'm also trying to find out who's gonna be on the coaching staff next year. So I'm so confused. Like I'm trying to find answers as soon as I can. Like what's the team gonna look like next season?
Yeah. No, listen, Lawrence, I appreciate the call. Listen,
but so did you agree with my point though?
Roster, when you're on the roster management, let's get it.
Yeah, that to me, and I get what Lawrence was saying, but like it's like no, man, that's what that means, dude. Think about it. You just told me for the last day and a half you've been sitting down writing next year's roster down, like what it's gonna, because that is a question. What is it gonna look like? We don't know. I think there's gonna be some moves. You know, and then there's some that I think are genuinely 50-50 right now that we don't know.
Jim, thanks for joining us on 93.9. Fire away, my man.
All right. On the topic of moving ahead, before I get to it, one thing I was hoping to hear, Marcus, your catchphrase when Steve was reading out Patino's first 3 years. I was hoping you'd say, Steve, read that again. Because that is important. Because the Patino crowd, and I'm a huge Patino guy too, but I don't feel like Mac is getting a fair shake considering what our program's been under when he came in. And remember, when he came in under that, we were all like, thank God, a top-level coach was willing to ride with us. So I'm ready to move on as far as the season goes.
Hey, Jim, say that again. When we were going through what we were going through, a top-level coach was willing to say, I'll ride with that.
Exactly.
Yep.
And I don't think he's getting the credit for that. Does that mean he's untouchable? Of course not. You're a high level coach. You get criticism. There are we all have our bench seat where we think we could have made better calls, but I think he's doing a good job. I'm ready to rotate through. I don't even know if I watch the tournament unless, they can promise me that Mitch Barnhart's going to slip walking onto a floor and bust his ass. But, I'm curious what our big man is going to be like next year. If Malik does come back, injury wise, is he going to be top level? What's Roosevelt going to look like? I think that's huge for us. And outside of that, it's time to ride with next year's squad, see what these changes are that Mac talked about, and let's go. Appreciate it,
Jim. I do appreciate that call. Yeah, yeah. Listen, again. We're not making a comparison conversation. We're just saying, when you get to step back and you get to look at the total numbers of years, you kind of just gotta gauge your reaction based on the marathon, not the sprint.
Now, I do think Diener is right though when Diener says okay, because the guy called in the other day and said not to compare him to Patino, and I do agree with Diener now when he said, now, come on, you're taking over for Rick, you're going to get some comparison.
Right.
So to that, yes. I agree with, okay, you're not going to compare, with all due respect, you're not going to compare him to David Magic.
Steve, you're getting a little robot-y. I'm going to get to this phone line really, really quick. Joel, thanks for joining us on 93.9. What's on your mind?
What's up, fellas? Yeah, you're right, Steve. You hit on it a little bit. I think the big kind of adjustment, and when you're kind of talking about, Rick's beginning and things like that and his background, I do agree with that. And I think, too, Rick kind of brought that style that Louisville basketball fans just really like. I think the biggest adjustment, obviously, has been, Patino to Mac, but a bigger part of it, too, it's just a different style of ball that Louisville fans have been used to, right? You're totally bringing a total different type of defense, offense, and things like that. So, which is fine, if you're winning and things like that. But when it's and he has been winning, I'm not saying he hasn't been, but you just cap it with kind of the style too. There's kind of that combo of people looking at things. At the end of the day, when you talk about, have you moved on? I have. It stinks because it's kind of been, I don't know if you call it apathy or what, but when you look at the last 5 or so years, Louisville hasn't been in the tournament I don't know, like 2 or 3 times. So now
Right.
it's things where it feels like I've almost kind of gotten used to it now. But, you know, at the end of the day, when you go into year 4, it is what it is. We are where we are. He's going to have those expectations next year, whether he changes the roster or does whatever he needs to do there. But at the end of next year, I think we'll definitely look back and where are we at, you know, March 2022. What did the season look like? Are we in the tournament? How did it look? Because that's where really we're all going to look back and not hopefully have the COVID excuses or, you know, this, that, injuries and things like that. And then we can really take a look and see where we're at and make kind of a call as a fan from there. But, you know, I'm over it. I told Brian the biggest thing for me, which never happens in my life, Tampa Bay sports has got me through all this with the Bucks in the Super Bowl,
They're all
the Rays in the
down
World
there.
Series. But, you know, that's it, man. Next year, you guys keep hitting on it. It's a kind of a year. It's a big, I don't know if you call it pressure or whatever you want to call it, but year 4 under Mac is a big off season and a big year for him. So that's kind of where I'm at with it. That's all I got, buddy.
Appreciate the call. And to kind of what Joe was talking about, the style and things like that. You know how like you have like hypothetically, you have a misbehaving kid. You know, you send them to a babysitter, right? One of the babysitters is like a super taskmaster. You're like, okay, this is what he needs, right?
Sure.
And then after a while, you're like, she may be a little too strict on him, you know, like she's going a little too hard, you know. But then you send him to the I don't know, I don't want to put a political, just a real earthy, you know, laid back environment. Just you know, do what you feel in here. We play, we let the kids experience, we let the kids frolic in this daycare, you know.
Sure.
So when you go from frolic and athleticism and freestyle of play like Coach Crum, like we looked like a kind of a freer team, you know. But then when you got the disciplinarian and the heart attack, the walking heart attack that is Coach Patino, right? It's just like, you know, it's because it was extreme, you know what I'm saying? So now you're kind of going back to a middle earth guy, you know, not, but without the history that Coach Crum has to get that pass. So now you're just like, it opens, you know, it's just a different style of everything, and getting used to that style is kind of what we're in the middle of right now. Let me get back to this phone line. Alex, thanks for joining us on 93.9. Fire away, my man.
Hey guys, I want you to hear this from the most affectionate part of my heart. I mean, with full affections for the both of you. I want y'all to understand this. I love y'all so much. Like
I felt that.
Like
Alex.
I want you to take that however you take it. I love y'all so much. This is why I listen to this show. It's why I have been listening to this show since day one, because you guys are the heart of my Louisville fandom. You guys are the expression for the segment of time that y'all have on the radio show, because it is so easy to be negative. It is so easy. I was scrolling through Twitter last night. It's so easy to see all the negativity. But what you guys do every single day when y'all come on the radio show is y'all bring the positivity. And then on the weekends, I go to church. And I greatly appreciate that you guys are able to keep me in a positive place with my fandom. That's why I listen to Middays and Marcus Baby. Thank you guys so much.
Appreciate that, Alex. Listen, he meant that.
Wow, appreciate that, man. Like I wasn't about to step on that. I was like, hey, man, just keep going.
Yeah, I'm gonna need to add that to my archives of passionate callers.
But do you know if for things like that, dude? I hope people realize, man, this is kind of like we're passionate too. Like, so this is therapy for us. Like, we don't just like call each other at night and go, okay, how can we spin this to be a good thing? It's like, you know, I mean, like I said, me and you haven't talked. We haven't talked. So we both, I can tell.
Yeah, I didn't tell you about last night's event at all.
No, you text me the Peyton Siva stat.
Right.
And I said, and I text you back and said, I mean, I could show people the screenshots. I text you back and was like, yeah, one was by 30 and the other one was the Moorhead.
Yeah, it was phenomenal to hear him say that.
Yeah, yeah. And it's like, so it is the therapy that we're all going through right now, where we're all, and like I said, I thought Lawrence's call just started it off great. Like, yeah, man, I've been sitting down for the last day, just writing down roster. That's what I've been doing. Like, that's what, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I'm talking about. And I want to get to a guy that it sounds like we might be
roster management.
So we'll talk about that. But yeah, no, that was a good call. I appreciate that, Alex.
Cody, thanks for joining us on Middays with Marcus Maven. Fire away.
Hey, what's up, guys? Before I get to my point, I gotta agree with my boy Alex. Not to get too emotional, but like I've been through it's been a pretty rough couple of years for me, man. Like just personally, not just my fandom and all that. And I'm 22, so you just go through growing pains and stuff like that. But
sure.
Anytime I tune into you guys, or pretty much 93.9 in general, is like you guys always put a smile on my face. So I really appreciate all that. Seriously,
appreciate that, man. Thank you.
Nah, anytime. So I want Coach to recruit, like, I want him to recruit the center position like he doesn't think Malik is going to come back. I want him to go out and land either just a regular transfer, grad transfer of just a straight up bruising center. I don't want this dude to be pretty. I want this guy to get in. You know exactly what you're going to get out of him. You're going to get rebounding. You're going to just get a huge level of intensity that I don't think that we've seen out of the 5 spot too much. And it's not because of Malik's play, but he's just not been out there. So I really want him to recruit that position like he's not going to come back. And that's not the dog on the other 5 that we got. I think Roosevelt Wheeler can be a stud. I think that Gabe, it could be a sleeper guy. I think by the time he might be a junior or a senior, he really could be that bruiser. He doesn't have a pretty game. He's a powerful presence, even if it doesn't show up quite yet because he's a freshman. But no, I really want Coach to get that center position right and just get somebody. I don't want this dude to be pretty. I want him to have an ugly game that you're just like, oh my God, he's just going to get you like 9 and 10 every single game. You're going to get a double-double out of him. And I think that so far from what I've been seeing, he's recruiting. I think he's going to get about 1 or 2 more guards just to solidify that spot. But is there any names out there for centers that like we might not have heard of that maybe Louisville's reached out to? And I'm going to hang him a list. Thank you, guys.
Appreciate the call.
Man. I don't think so at this point. I think the first thing they need to figure out what Malik's doing first. But because I do, even though I may agree with you that I would like to see maybe another guy.
Yeah, a big finisher.
Yeah. It's still, I do think that it changes with Malik, because with Malik back, I mean, it just changes how you're going to have to recruit a guy.
Right.
I mean, and I can't go, and I don't, Malik's too good to just say, no, we're moving on. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I mean, that's why Coach Max said, hey, I want him back. I mean, he was pretty open about him and Carly. Like, I want them back if they want to come back.
Yeah,
so
we got a spot for you.
Yeah. So
we'll keep that seat warm. Let me get this last call before commercial break. Jeff, thanks for joining us on 93.9. Fire away.
What's up, fellas, man? I tell you what, it's every time I cut this radio on, man, y'all get the fans where they need to be at about this team, and then not just basketball and just in football in general. I guess that's what you call maturity. You know what I'm saying? But I'm trying to think about. I was thinking about yesterday when y'all was talking about. Everybody kept calling about Patino, and our coach we got now, and it just drives me nuts to hear people compare them to. Now I'm the biggest U of L fan. It goes back. I'm in my early 50s. I go always back. Now I'm gonna say this. Now I'm not a big. How can I put this? I didn't want Patino at University of Louisville.
Right.
One reason on it, because he got a stank on him that we cannot get rid of. I'm sorry. I don't care what people say, how great a coach he is, blah, blah, blah. But when he came out of University of Louisville, he came in with a permanent stank on him that we can't get rid of. And y'all know what that is. He comes from down the street. So by saying that, it's already one strike. Then if I can remember right, since he's been there since day one, it's always been issues. Players getting hurt, concussions, and blah, 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 blah. we had the big scandal. Oh my God. You know, I'm like, he's still our coach. And I was hoping and praying, go ahead and get rid of the guy. Get rid of him. But then we get this Mac guy here, level-headed, good coach, X's and O's. It just amazes me when Rick gets crunch time. This is what he called. Put the ball in Gordon's hand, spread it out, one-on-one. Mac get the ball, design the play on the spot. And y'all want to get rid of this guy? It just drives me nuts. So by saying that, by listening to you all, y'all break it down to these fans, to them to understand. We got a great coach here. Give him some time. How many years was Rick here? I can't remember. How many years?
16, 17, maybe.
And in 2013, we finally get to that promised land. Really? In all these years with the other scandal, what's his name? The dude from New York was 5-star. He promised Rick he gonna sign a contract, come to Louisville versus Louisville. He goes to the NBA. How many times did that happen? Heard everybody's hard, like, dude, stop. You can, but what I'm saying is, keep doing what y'all doing. Keep on doing it, and I'm gonna keep listening. And I'm telling you, y'all duo is don't ever separate the duo y'all got here. Okay, so once again, go Cards. Talk to y'all later.
Appreciate it. When he was talking about not embracing Rick, I was thinking of Rocky. If I could change, you can change. People can change.
Yeah.
He won a championship. He's my coach. Quick commercial break, middays with Marcus Maven on 93.9 The Ville.
Diamonds happen to be April's birthstone, but let's face it, who wouldn't love a gift of diamond jewelry? At Shane Company, our beautiful diamonds are natural and ethically sourced. We hand-pick them for their extraordinary fire and brilliance. You'll notice the superior quality right away. You can see the difference. Diamonds will never go out of style. Come to Shane Company for stunning diamond gifts. We have unique styles in every price range, created by our in-house design team and made to last for generations. Give her a diamond solitaire necklace, a tennis bracelet, stud earrings, diamond accented hoop earrings, or a stunning 3-stone ring. Shane Company jewelry is made so well, with attention to every detail, that we can provide our warranty for life for free. Your gift will take her breath away. Now you have a friend in the jewelry business. Shane Company and shaneco.com.
When you are buying or selling a home, you have a ton of questions that need to be answered. Well, what if I could answer those questions with 3 simple words? Call Josh Jarbo. Josh specializes in residential real estate, getting buyers the home of their dreams and sellers top dollar for their home with the best negotiating skills in the industry. And if you tell him you heard about him right here, you'll receive up to a $5,000 seller's credit. So contact Josh Jarbo today at 502-216-7590 or joshjarbo@remax.net.
The brackets are set. Now it's time to put your college basketball knowledge to the test with the ESPN Louisville Bracket Challenge. Register now at espnlouisville.com for your chance to win the grand prize, a Gorilla Goal from Steepleton's, or our second place prize, a summer mosquito treatment from OPC. For a full list of prizes and to register, visit espnlouisville.com. And it's all presented by UPS Jobs, Bet Rivers Sportsbook, SueDistractedDriver.com, the Kentucky Department of Fish and Wildlife, and Steepleton's.
Louisville baseball plays on ESPN Louisville.
Got him looking, called strike 3, and the Cards win.
As the Cards hope to make another trip to Omaha.
Hey, it's Sean Moss. Louisville baseball is in action again Friday on the road at NC State. You can hear all of the Ellison Bodenhausen coverage beginning at 6:20 right here on 93.9 The Ville and the ESPN Louisville app.
If it's Louisville baseball, it plays here on ESPN Louisville and the ESPN Louisville app.
Hey Cards fans, Zach here from Great Flood Brewing with a friendly reminder that we have a number of carry-out options for you this season. Growlers for beer, bottled cocktails to go, and delicious food, as well as a heated patio, are all on offer at our Middletown restaurant. Growlers, cans, and a patio with heaters are available at our Highlands location. Please stop by. We'd love to say hello and can't wait to see you all soon. Call 502-208-0882 to reach your preferred location or follow us at Great Flood Beer, Great Flood Middletown on social media for updates. Thanks again.
We are so proud to have brought the price relief to the people of Louisville that they deserve.
Wendy Canavan, Vice President of Genesis Diamonds, reflecting on Genesis Diamonds' first decade in Louisville.
We have shaken up the marketplace because our prices are incredibly lower.
The fact is, before Genesis, everyone here paid more.
Diamond prices were higher. It was kind of like there was a standardized pricing, everybody charged it, and the customers bought it.
But now you get access to the world's finest diamonds at true direct importer prices.
They're amazed when they see how far their dollar goes at Genesis Diamonds and the beauty and quality of our diamonds.
Is this the year you get engaged or celebrate a milestone anniversary? Get the value you deserve at Genesis.
Customers say, I've heard your radio commercials. I can honestly tell you it's true. We hear it every day. We never lose a customer over price.
Genesis Diamonds, proud to be a part of this amazing city going into our 11th year with tens of thousands of satisfied customers. Shelbyville Road Plaza.
Make your life better with a new job at UPS. Join Team Louisville as a warehouse worker and be part of an industry-leading organization that believes in promoting from within. Earn $14.50 per hour plus a $300 weekly bonus for some shifts. And you might even be eligible for a program that helps you graduate college debt-free. Enjoy an active job with big-time growth opportunities at UPS. Search and apply now at upsjobs.com/Louisville. That's upsjobs.com/Louisville.
We opened our first location in 1995. Cox is more a convenience-driven brand, where Evergreen is more of a shop experience.
The bourbon exploded over the last 5 to 10 years.
We are always bringing in new barrel picks that were hand-selected by our team.
My favorite part is the people.
Satisfying what their needs is our top priority. Cox's and Evergreen Liquors are Louisville's neighborhood liquor store. Visit our website, coxslouisville.com.
This is Drew Diener, and you're listening to 93.9 The Ville, live from the OPC Services Studio.
Also include items from J. Shepherd Cigars, catering spread from delivery.com, Smash Zone Baseball, Double Dogs, Cox's Smokers Outlet, Hex Head Art, Dave and Buster's, What Have You Golf Course Landing Paints. The ESPN Louisville Bracket Challenge is presented by UPS Jobs, Bet River Sportsbook, the Kentucky Department of Fish and Wildlife, SueDistractedDriver.com, and Steepletons.
So I got to ask this question real quick, Steve. Should I feel guilty for feeling guilty when it's a Which Wednesday? Like when I get on the road and I'm just driving thinking about my day and I say, oh, yes, it's Wednesday. Like I literally do that as an adult. And I'm just like, Marcus, you should not be this excited on every Wednesday.
You know, here's the thing. I think our best deal a lot of times is the Wing Zone deal you can go in and get, right? But the best lunch is that which.
Yes.
Because look, you can get a large witch and I usually like the wicked. I know me and Brian like the wicked, so we'll do the wicked with
What's
all
on the wicked?
meats. Brian?
It's turkey, ham, roast beef, and I believe there might be some pepperoni or salami on there.
There's I think pepperoni. Then it's got like it's got lettuce,
And then
you know,
obviously the lettuce,
cheese
tomato,
and
all
stuff. Yeah,
I
and
want the
it's
wicked.
dude, take mine today. Take my wicked.
Okay.
Try it out. Listen, it's amazing. And then I grab the chips and the cookie, and it's just like, this is perfect. And it's clean. It's easy to carry. You know, you're just like, this is a perfect little like lunch. I mean, it's awesome. It reminds me of being a kid again. I'm like, mom packed me a perfect like. Hey, like mom would always do a great job when we would go on like field trips. Like I always prided myself in having like really good lunches. Like you go on a field trip, you know, mom maybe a sub sandwich, you know.
What was the last packed lunch you remember having?
Oh man. Oh, that's tough, man. The last pack.
The classic go-tos always have like goldfish in it that mom put into like a Ziploc bag, maybe a snack pack.
Listen, I'll say this, man, and then I'll get back to you, Marcus. Like Elijah's mom is like stupid good at making lunches. Like Elijah goes to school, and it's like literally like Elijah's running like an illegal food sale ring out of his lunchbox.
Really?
Yeah, it's oh, dude, it's ridiculous. Yeah, so like yeah, that's mine, man. I don't know the last one I probably had was I went on a field trip with Elijah and we packed a lunch. So, I mean, like if I'm doing the last one, but I mentioned the one at the zoo. That was probably my favorite one, man. We'd go to the zoo and like Roby Elementary and stuff, man. I remember, oh my gosh, my mom I was like, let's go. It's like, it's lunchtime, man. People were like, oh man, I didn't bring a lunch. I'm like, oh man, that sucks.
you didn't share your listen.
Of course I would. I'm just kidding.
Here's my problem, Steve.
Fruit roll-ups. Mom always put fruit roll-ups in there.
See,
freaking awesome.
You've been around me long enough to know that I never want to, like, it's just a nightmare to still be hungry after a meal, right?
Yeah.
So listen, I don't know if this is a delegation thing, but we didn't get real elaborate lunchbox things. It was just okay. Listen, and here's the thing: if the delegation wants to speak for me and say, "No, Marcus, you're wrong," you know, we got elaborate spreads for our lunch boxes, but mine was like
you do elaborate Thanksgivings,
right?
I will say that.
Listen, my lunch
we've adopted that actually in the house. But
that's funny. My lunch boxes going. Listen. If it made it without being spilled all over the place, it was like, listen, I would make my sandwich and look, probably add some extra bologna to just to make it a double bologna and cheese sandwich. Listen,
come on now.
I would hope that, you know, when I put my little chips in my bag, I would hope it whenever that juice or whatever spills in there that it doesn't get on my chips.
Yep.
But there was not much organization to my original lunch box. I mean, it's like, I guess my dad and mom, boy, if you can't make yourself some lunch that you want to have at lunch when it happens, then you don't deserve to eat. Like if you can't if you're not smart enough to do that, then I hope
you know what I would do. And have you ever saw that meme of where they and I know Brian's probably got to get us out of here because I know he's got to play the spot. But do you know the meme where they're rapping and the dude like gets him real good and everybody's kind of like, oh, and he falls back into him, you know?
Yep.
I used to sneak and I would switch my juice out for a soda. So like when you were at lunch, man, and you pulled out the Mountain Dew soda, it was like everybody at the table was like, "Oh, he brought the soda," you know. You're like, "Yeah, oh yeah, no, dude,
like, man, he's the luckiest man in the school,
man." Listen, his parents are awesome. I snuck it; they didn't know, but I was like,
right?
Oh, yeah.
No, people, you should know that this next hour we are going to talk about real roster management. Real deal.
ESPN Louisville is again your exclusive home for live play-by-play of the NCAA tournament, including the Final Four and National Championship. First round coverage begins Friday at noon on ESPN 680, 105.7, and streaming on the ESPN Louisville app.
And the Kentucky coronation is complete. Champions 2012.
The NCAA tournament on ESPN Louisville is presented by Bill Collins Ford, UPS Jobs, and fueled by Kroger.
An official broadcast partner of the University of Louisville, WLCL Sellersburg is 93.9 The Ville. Time now for an ESPN Louisville Sports Center update.
Good morning, I'm Brian Hall. The Sports Center update brought to you by Eclipse Roofing and Restoration. Customer trusted, Google approved. EclipseRoofingLouisville.com. The NCAA bracket is set and the Cards have officially missed out on this year's NCAA tournament as all 68 teams have been deemed eligible to play. Yesterday, Jay Billis gave his thoughts on Louisville.
You know, Syracuse was in some trouble going into the ACC tournament. They win a couple games. Now all of a sudden everybody's talking about them as a tournament team. And for Louisville, it worked the other way. They would have made the field that Sunday, but they go into the ACC tournament, lose to Duke, and kind of got exposed for not being able to shoot it. And all of a sudden now they're out.
The first four are set to begin tomorrow, with our coverage beginning around 6 o'clock on all ESPN Louisville stations. University of Kentucky big man Isaiah Jackson has announced that he will be testing the NBA draft waters after averaging 8 points and 6 rebounds this season. He will still have a chance to return to the Cats if he goes to the Combine and does not receive the feedback he wanted. News started swirling yesterday that former Louisville coach Rick Pitino could be a candidate for the IU job, but he announced via his social media accounts that he will be staying put at Iona and will not be inquiring about any vacant jobs, including the Indiana one. With this season over, the Cards will now turn their attention to next year's roster, and a potential transfer's name has surfaced in West Carolina guard Mason Faulkner. Faulkner averaged 17 points, 5.5 rebounds, and 5 assists for Western Carolina last year. Moving on to football news, UK wide receiver Bryce Oliver has also entered the transfer portal. The redshirt junior has 8 career receptions with the Cats. And last but certainly not least, the Louisville baseball team fell yesterday to Eastern Kentucky 6-3. They're back in action on Friday when they'll kick off their 3-game series with North Carolina State. Keep it locked here. Middays with Marcus Maben is next. This is SportsCenter.
March's biggest tournament is finally here, and DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook app, is putting new customers in the center of the action. Bet $4 on an underdog. Win $256 if they win. It's that simple. Pick one of many select college basketball underdogs for your shot at winning $256. All it takes is a $4 bet. Don't worry if college basketball isn't for you. DraftKings Sportsbook offers great odds and promotions on golf, hockey, and so much more. Download the top-rated DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use promo code WLCL when you sign up to turn $4 into $256 if the underdog of your choosing pulls off the upset. That's code WLCL for a limited time, only at DraftKings Sportsbook. Must be 21 or older. Indiana only. New customers only. Restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-9-WITH-IT.
Now that sports have officially kicked off, there's only 4 things missing from your playbook. 4 pegs. Looking for great smoked wings? 4 pegs. Looking for juicy barbecue and award-winning chili? 4 pegs. If you're just looking for some cold crab, tap, can, or bottled beer? 4 pegs. And the best part about 4 pegs is it's right around the corner at 1053 Goss Avenue in Germantown. So you better get over there fast because the word is spreading. And while you're over there, be sure to ask about their food truck and other catering services.
U of L Health's medical expertise, known around the world, is now in your community and more accessible than ever before. The power of U is now at more hospitals, more medical centers, and more physician practices, along with Brown Cancer Center and Fraser Rehab, all dedicated to making the impossible possible. That's the power of U. To learn more, visit uoflhealth.org.
Hey everyone, I'm Brandon Lang. When Matthew McConaughey plays you in a movie, as he did me in 2005's Two for the Money, you have to maintain a certain image. That's hard to do when you're going bald. I needed to do something, and it needed to be done fast. Parsley Waldman's Hair Center came to the rescue. Louisville and the Midwest premier hair treatment center not only gave me my hair back, but my self-confidence as well. Go to hairsurgery.com and find out how you can start your journey back to a full head of hair today. I can tell you firsthand, from the minute you walk in the door to the time you leave, you are treated as if you were in a 5-star hotel. And now that it's been a year since my surgery, I look back at pictures from a couple years ago. I don't even look like the same person. The procedure was an amazing success, and it has totally reframed my face. Go to hairsurgery.com and find out not only how affordable it is, but how you can get your hair back today. Visit hairsurgery.com. That's hairsurgery.com, and tell them Brandon Lang sent you.
We are your home for the NCAA Tournament, Final Four, and National Championship with exclusive first-round coverage starting Friday at noon, right here on ESPN Louisville and streaming on the ESPN Louisville app.
Love getting prices that are lower than low on food that's fresher than fresh? Then shop at Kroger. We give you more ways to save on the fresh you love with tools like the Kroger app, where you can find personalized coupons on top of weekly sales, giving you prices that are lower than the everyday low. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
And now you'll find more ways to save on your favorites. When you download digital coupons, you can use up to 5 times in one transaction. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Your eyes are unique. The color, the shape, even the way the world appears through them. At Dr. Black's Eye Associates, our approach to eye care is as unique to you as your eyes. For over 30 years, our family of doctors has improved and restored the eyesight of kids and adults across Kentuckiana. Trust your vision to our local specialists. Schedule an appointment today. Call 888-EYE-CARE or visit have2020.com. Dr. Black's Eye Associates. See life clearly.
This is Drew Diener, and you're listening to 93.9 The Ville, live from the OPC Services Studio.
Or look them up online at dfhcompany.com. You got anything else, Steve?
I do. I want to remind people that March's biggest tournament is finally here. We do not know who will be cutting down the nets. Sorry. Just got to update there, which is funny because it's an update that we will get to. We do not know who will be cutting down the nets at the end, but we do know there will be no shortage of madness. DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook app, is putting new customers in the center of the action. Bet $4 on an underdog, win $256 if they win. It's that simple. Turning $4 into $256 is 64-1 odds. Every dollar you bet could turn into $64. Pick one of many select college basketball underdogs for your shot at winning $256. Is all it takes is a $4 bet. There's no better way to put your college basketball knowledge to the test than to put your money where your mouth is with DraftKings Sportsbook. Don't worry, college basketball isn't for you. DraftKings Sportsbook offers great odds, promotions on golf, and so much more. DraftKings is golf, hockey, and so much more. DraftKings is safe, secure, and reliable, so you can deposit and withdraw your funds at your convenience. So download the top-rated DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use promo code WLCL when you sign up to turn $4 into $256 if the underdog of your choosing pulls off an upset. That's code WLCL to turn $4 into $256 for a limited time only at DraftKings Sportsbook. You must be 21 or older Indiana only. New customers. Restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. And if you got a gambling problem, call 1-800-9-WITH.
Per University of Louisville tweet release, I went to gocards.com. If you follow University of Louisville's basketball account, it's official. Cardinals add transfer. Oh, I love this title too, Steve. Cardinals add transfer forward Matt Cross to top 5 class. Ooh. Let me go to gocards.com. As you can go to gocards.com as well. Matt Cross, a 6'7", 225-pound forward from Beverly, Mass., who played a freshman collegiate season this year at the University of Miami of Florida, has signed a financial aid agreement with the University of Louisville to play with the Cardinals as a transfer. Cross is the 6th newcomer, joining the 21-22 Louisville roster, adding an impressive 5-person class that signed with the Cardinals in November that is currently ranked as the number 4 class in the nation by Rivals and the number 5 class by 247 Sports and 11th by ESPN. Go figure, Steve. I'll repeat that. That is currently ranked the number 4 class in the nation by Rivals.com, the number 5 by 247 Sports, and number 11th by ESPN.
Sounds right. Thanks, Dave.
We are excited to add one of the best shooters in the country to our program, said U of L head men's basketball coach Chris Matt Cross. Well, go ahead. You want me to stop right there, Steve?
Well, I was going to say, how will he get a shot off only being 6'3"? Oh, he's 6'7"? Oh, okay.
Ooh.
Sorry.
Matt Cross will help our team out a lot next season and beyond. He's a tough kid, is more than just a shooter, has ACC experience from day one. Matt will arrive he started this first game at Miami, didn't he?
I don't know.
I think he did. Yeah, because unless if he didn't start, Steve, he came in when he hit his 3-pointer, it was 0-3. So unless they didn't start him out of punishment and put him in 10 seconds into the game, he started his opening game at Miami.
He might have.
Matt Cross will help our team out a lot next season. Honestly, tough kid, blah, 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 blah. Matt will arrive for summer school this June. Provide some things our team was missing this past season. We can't wait to get him here. In 14 games as a freshman, the Hurricanes, including 9 starts. Repeat, in 14 games as a freshman with the Hurricanes, including 9 starts, Cross averaged 6.9 and 3.5 rebounds and made 20 of 50 3-point field goals. You want to know what percentage that is, Steve?
What's that?
40% from the 3.
That's not too shabby, is it?
Just the 3rd freshman to start a season opener for Miami since 2004. And you're listening to a person who knows something about starting openers in college. It's so hard to do, y'all. It's really, really hard to do.
That's fair. That's fair. So you add Matt Cross. So Lawrence, we're helping you out here. You add Matt Cross. Now what's next? Obviously, we know.
Wait a minute, Steve, because this was going to really stir in your craw. He matched a season high with 16 points against Louisville on January 16th, adding 4 rebounds and 2 assists while connecting on 4 of 6 3-point goals against the Cardinals. He also scored 16 against then number 24 Virginia Tech, making 4 of 6 threes against the Hokies with 5 rebounds and 3 assists. He had 4 double-figure scoring efforts this season and grabbed 4 or more rebounds in 8 games. Whew.
Works for me.
How do you like that, Steve?
So go ahead and let's jot Matt Cross. Welcome to the roster board. That's one thing I do love that Locke used to do when Locke would have all the local rosters
Mm-hmm.
and kind of keep up with them. So I guess we'll keep that tradition going with the Louisville roster. I'm really not worried about what the other two schools do, but the Louisville roster will welcome Matt Cross to the board now. So we put him on the board. There's a name out there that it sounds like could be added to the board.
Let me just do this real quick, Steve.
Okay.
Let me just do this because I want everyone to experience this. Listen, insert joke here. I want everyone to experience this package as a whole that's coming to Louisville.
Okay. I love it. Let's do it.
Cross joins an incoming top 5 recruiting class as newcomers to the Louisville roster. That includes L. Ellis, a 6'3", 175-pound guard from Durham, North Carolina, and Tallahassee, Florida Community College. Mike James, a 6'6", 195-pound guard forward from Oak Ridge High School in Orlando, Florida. Bobby Pettiford, 6'1", 175-pound guard from South Granville High School in North Carolina. Eric Vanderheiden, a 6'8", 205-pound guard forward from Millbrook High School in Raleigh. Roosevelt Wheeler, a 6'10", 240-pound forward center from John Marshall High School in Richmond, Virginia. Keep going, Steve.
It's nice. That help is on the way. You say like, okay, all right. And then word is circulating pretty well on the boards and the different stuff that Louisville is in really good shape to land Mason Faulkner, guard, 6'2" guard from Western Carolina. Don't know because they haven't obviously landed him yet. But if Louisville were to land him, they would be adding a guy who was all conference last year, who had averaged 17, 6, and 5.
Wait, that was his career high.
No, that was his average last year. A guy who shot 45% from the field. A guy who has Western Carolina's only triple-double ever. Look, he gave Florida State 21, 7, and 4. 21, 7, and 4 last year. That's a possibility. That's a possibility. So obviously, I mean, I'm not breaking that news. That's everybody's been talking about it, but obviously, according to the insiders and stuff, it's Mason Faulkner. He's from Glasgow. That could be the next name on the board. Louisville has
already top 4 and 5 recruiting class.
Yeah. And I don't think that that'd be the last guy Louisville adds either. So, but man, that would be a nice start. And then of course, I think you kind of are then in a little bit of a waiting game with Carleek and David and Malik. You want to see, because I think those 3 guys obviously have a spot on the team. You know,
talk to me about Faulkner.
Talk to you about Faulkner.
Tell me what do you think of it? Describe his game, because people are just wondering what am I going to expect with Faulkner?
Faulkner,
style.
It's style-wise, it's interesting. He's 6'2", so he's a little bigger than Carleek. Plays a lot kind of like him if you watch him play.
I put you on the spot on purpose just to see if you were scared to say it.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna. Okay, fair enough then, because he looks a lot like Carleek Jones. Actually, might be a better shooter. Don't know if he's a better all-around player. But again, I mean, his average was. I mean, when you look at his average, I mean, you got a guy who's, what I just read you. I mean, he's averaging 6 boards a game. He's 5 assists a game.
His style of game, he's probably not as fast as Carleek. You can't really tell, but he doesn't look as fast. But he has that same that pace, that change of pace like Carleek. So you never really knew how fast Carleek was.
and he kind of likes to get to the same spots Carlik got. I will say that if you notice, just from watching his film, he likes to get in that free throw line extended. He likes to get, and I will say, man, you watch the highlights of him against Florida State. I mean, you're talking about dude just comes down the court, nice hezzy.
I mean, we have 6'6" guards on him, can't stop him from getting to the basket.
He goes right into the 6'11" big man.
He gets fouled, Steve. That's what I love the most looking at him.
And it screams at the top of his lungs.
It's a Carlik that probably gets fouled. He'll get fouled more than Carlik. Guaranteed.
Well, I guarantee they'll call it more. God bless. I would absolutely love to see him I would love to see him, Carlik, and Ellis together. Now I know you're like, oh yeah, Steve, obviously, but my gosh, I would love to see that backcourt.
Listen, and if he practiced with Carlik and those two got to go at each other in an off season, just watch. Like, I mean, and he's a bully, y'all. Like, he's a little bit of a bully. Like, he think, how I talk about things like you can be kind of slim and still just, have an attitude like you can truck people. You know what I'm saying? He's kind of a bull. He jumps into everybody's chin. Y'all know how I complain about when you got a guy going backwards, you jump into them and get the and one. Like, this guy hunts for the and one. He puts his shoulder in people's chin almost every time he goes to the basket.
Yeah.
And you can literally see he wants the body contact.
So again, I mean, the rumors are out there that Louisville's obviously kind of in the lead for him. He's a state kid. He's from Glasgow. So I mean, this is going to be a kid that a comeback here that obviously was
play with an extra chip.
Yeah, like Kristen Cunningham, kind of was in that mold of, like, all right, going back to the place where they didn't give me a shot. So now, look, I'm proving to you and the schools down the road, that. So yeah, I mean, I think that it would be a tremendous ad. Like I said, I don't think they would be done at that point, but the roster for next year is shaping up to be one where I do think that the pressure can be warranted. Now,
Steve,
I don't
listen. The phone lines are totally.
Let's go. Let's go.
Let me get over here. Chris, thanks for joining us on 93.9. Fire away, my man.
What's up, Raymond Rummage? Hey, Maven, you don't get in that room with those guys if you don't have the numbers you have. I appreciate you being humble, but the numbers get you in the room.
At the very least, I appreciate it.
Man, y'all brought up my worst nightmares as a kid, going to the zoo on that field trip and walking all day before they let you get to your lunch. And maybe, I don't know if he was like me, but I had that cocaine in aluminum foil. Could not wait to get to it.
No, my cocaine was hot and warm and nasty.
Oh, no. You got to put that in an aluminum foil so it holds the coldness. Now, the real talk. With all these things that we're doing, and thank you, Mac. Thank you for getting on your game. Thank you for getting us ready for next year. But the question has to be asked: who's not going to be there? We don't have this many scholarships. Are we recruiting over Nickelberry? Are we recruiting over Quinn? Are these guys in trouble, man? Because when you bring this kid in from Miami, you got to think it's him and JJ at that position now. Where's Quinn fit in? Because Williams has got the other one lined up. If Carlik comes back, is there room for Nickelberry? If this kid comes in,
Chris, wait a minute. Wait, Chris. Let me ask you this: do you really care? Do you really care if he recruits over somebody? Because here, I'm gonna say this right now, and I'm gonna keep you on the phone. If you or anybody else start talking, do y'all remember when we had the gray shirt moment with that Wake Forest kid, and everybody could, he killed us. Bobby treated him wrong because he recruited over him, and it's like, dude, nobody cares. Nobody cares unless you're looking at just the crap on a coach. You want the best players.
Here's what I'm saying. I'm 1,000% with you. But if they're going to keep giving me this stuff about student athletes, do we have to guarantee their scholarship for 4 years? Because if not, this is going to happen every year.
Chris, do you care?
Man, the only reason I care now is because I'm a 48-year-old man with a son, and I would hate for my son to get his dream to come true. And then somebody say, hey, man, we appreciate what you did, but player X is 10 times better than you, and we're going to have to let you go. Now, what do you do with all these kids?
Chris, you make your kid better than them, and you make them take somebody else's scholarship for your kid. Don't think like that.
The best player is always the backup quarterback, the kid that we haven't seen yet. That's the best player that we don't know about. Does Nickelberry have a chance of being a good player? Yes. But if we bring this other kid in that I just saw on the clip with Florida State, Nick's got to go. That's all there is to it, because that dude looks like he can score at every level, not just shoot jumpers and hope they go in. Hey,
you just answered your question.
But I mean, we gotta protect them at some point. If we're really worried about them being student athletes, we have to protect them. If not, let's just call this the NBA G League, and everybody's a free agent.
Look,
I'll get off and I'll listen
Chris,
to you.
I appreciate the call.
Welcome to the new college basketball.
I just listened to the last 72 hours of Coach Matt got to do this and Coach Matt got to do that. If listen, Chris is a great caller and I know he knows what he's talking about. But unfortunately, that Chris narrative is going to turn into, oh, now he's just forcing players out. I watch people do that to Rick too. Oh, he's just forcing people out now. You don't care about his kids. No. I'm teaching these kids a life lesson. Get better or go home.
Yeah. It's like, I mean, I can't look my kid in the eye and go, well, sorry, son. I mean, I know, listen, I mean, he is better than you, but you got wronged. It's like, no, he's better. I don't know. You had a year. Like you had 2 years here. Josh could have. Look, I don't like doing that because we don't know who's
right.
Yeah, but player A could have. You had a couple years here. You know what? You could have wasted Dwayne Sutton last year, or was you just not better than Dwayne Sutton? You had a shot every day in practice. Go at him. Make plays.
See,
I don't know. In one-on-one drills, make plays. Like this year, go make plays. I don't know. I mean, if you've been here for 2 years and you're not really making plays, then sorry.
But see this text right here from Dana. He's a well-informed person. Yes, M. I care if we're over recruiting someone. Develop who you bring in.
Okay, then don't then. Okay, every other coach in America
you see that?
is bringing in guys and pushing guys out. You keep it zipped about Chris.
That's why I told you Dana was not going to give him a fair chance from the beginning. You didn't like the hire from the beginning. You're not giving. You mean to tell me if Charles Midland has a bad shooting year, and we have a chance to say, you know what, I can help Charles Midland become better, or I can go get Matt Cross from Miami, who I've seen do it on the court, who's taller and I feel like it's a better player. You mean to tell me, Dana, no, don't bring in Matt Cross. Just keep Charles and keep on working hard and keep on getting in the gym and just make him a better player, coach. No.
Yeah, and he'll be calling the show next year, going, "Well, I know these guys good." And Kentucky,
it's all developed
because Kentucky brought in Justin Powell and Sheboy
and Matt Cross,
and Matt Cross and those guys, and that's why you got your brains beat out. Yeah,
right.
So enjoy your team.
Yeah, you don't care about somebody being recruited over.
If nobody else in the country was doing it, that's why I got so up in arms about the Petrino thing. It was like, Alabama gray shirts like 8 guys a year. Like, what are you
talking about?
So Petrino called the guy on the last day. Yeah, sorry, dude. And look,
listen,
it turned out to be a mistake.
We got a guy that we didn't expect to get. That we, you know what I'm saying? But listen, you can come in next semester. Your home situation. I gray shirted, not because of school, because it's me. But
right.
The point. Yeah. Like, dude, you don't care. You don't care about unless you're like passively rooting against your team or rooting for this coach to fail, so you can say, "See, I was right," instead of bringing it. Like, come on, you kidding me? West End Wayne, thanks for joining us on 93.9. What's on your mind?
All right, fellas. All the fans been looking for a coach. Here he is. Max doing it now. He's going to turn it over and start doing it with the players now. If you're not teaching your kids at a young age, this is a dog-eat-man world, you're doing them a terrible injustice. So if you got dogs out there that want to play and can override these current players, hey, there's places out there that you can go play for, but it ain't going to be here. Max done learned, look, I got to do something out here and do it now. So if it means over-recruiting, do it over the ones we got. I hate it, but it's the dog-eat-man world we live in. Everybody wants a place at the table. Get yours is all I can tell you. You want to be that dog. Here's the other thing. I love the idea with the Patties going with these shooters and recruiting that type of guy because we definitely needed it. But, Coach, if you're listening out there, I love you. Get you an athletic big. You need somebody that is athletic underneath. Marcus has been preaching that, and he's telling the truth. You need some athleticism underneath there. Gabe is big. I love Gabe. Hey, but that's not the answer, fellas. Y'all know that? He's going to be a big body, can, play a little defense and get you some fouls and minutes. But we need some athletes down low, man. And we need that for a dog. There's got to be one dog in the pack. There's got to be that dog. And Marcus, you know what I'm talking about. And Steve, I'm sure you do as well. We ain't had that guy, not since Wayne. So we need a dog in there that's going to pump him in the chest and say, look, man, cut this out. Let's get with it. Cut this out, man. We're harder than that. Y'all know what I mean? A dog that we don't have him. Get him, Mike. He's out there. This James kid may be that guy. I don't know. But we need that guy and some athleticism in the big spot. The shooters, he's doing it. He's shoring that up. And guys, I hate it for these guys that was there and maybe getting passed over. It may happen, but remember what I said. It's a dog-eat-man world. And one last thing. The baseball coach at U of L, I got a nephew in New Albany that's getting letters right now from Virginia Tech, a lot of schools, and I'm serious, in the ACC right now, and he's only in the 10th grade. He's going to be a stud, and he wants to play for U of L. That's who he loves.
Send him a shout out. What's his name?
Ernie Gum, G-U-M. Listen to him. Ernie Gum, G-U-M. Love the show, guys. Keep it going.
Appreciate the call.
Hey, look, I'm all right with that. Hey, look, you got somebody you trying to get out there? Call on in.
Right?
Yeah.
No, and again, I didn't mean to get extra worked up over recruiting but again, I just want you to know how that sounds, saying don't recruit a more talented player, just develop what you already have. Like that is you're dooming your team to lose if you're scared to recruit a better talent over.
Well, again, it's not like you're shipping entire teams out. I mean, I do know other coaches that literally ship entire teams out. Like, okay, I just can't develop these guys. Oh, y'all gone.
Give me a new
redo it.
Give me a whole new round.
Yeah, I mean, you're losing a couple guys and replacing them. Like, okay.
No, and let me say this before I move to the next caller. Let me say this and be clear about it. There's two type of people of kids in a locker room. There's going to be one kid that says, I had my shot, I didn't get it done. There's going to be another kid that says, I'm going to get better and prove, you know what I'm saying? Or no, actually, that's the same kid. The other one is coach's fault.
Yeah.
It's coach's fault guy too many times ends up being one of these haters on the radio or Twitter warriors who blame coach day one. They are 1,000 hot takes on every other coach sucks, every other player sucks, every other program sucks. That's blame the coach guy. That's blame the teacher kid. That's blame, you know what I'm saying? That's blame everybody else except for accountability. None of those kids are going to feel any kid that gets recruited over is not going to feel sorry for themselves. They're not going to say anyone worth having in the first place is not going to feel sorry. Man, they brought in 3 guys that was my same height. So,
and here's the thing. I'll just say this. I think there's a chance we could lose a guy to coach's fault. We'll elaborate on it if it happens. We'll see. But I think we could lose one to it's coach's fault. And listen. See ya. I'm sorry. Yeah,
that's revealing. You blame the coach. You revealed something. Like
I do have compassion on someone like Charles Minlin. Even on someone like Josh and again, we're just putting people out the door. Nobody knows what's going to happen.
Right. This is all rumor.
Even if you've heard directly from the source, there's some players, and I bet you Maben can give you some names if he wanted to, that you could hear directly from their mouth at one point during the year. I'm out. As soon as the season, I'm calling coach, and may have actually called coaches.
Right.
And was like, no, I'm moving on.
Listen,
and then
you're listening to one. Right now on the radio, you're listening to one.
Well, I wasn't going to throw your business.
I don't care. Right. I was mad. I'm out. Everybody has been mad.
When you going to UCLA?
Yes, I'm out. Lavin, I'm out.
Yeah.
And again, it's like, no, Marcus, no. You figured out. You know what I'm saying? You figured out. You listen. You start looking at the minutes, Marcus. You get enough minutes to do your thing. Shut up and play. You know what I'm saying? But you go through, you're emotional, you're young, you got pressures, all that good stuff. Jake, thanks for joining us on Middays with Marcus Maben. Fire away.
Yeah, I got a few things. Chris Mack, his coaching this year has lost us at least 3 to 4 of our 7 losses. And the reason why I say that, you don't press at the end of the game with the last 2 minutes, you down 10 points. You don't press then. You press all during the game.
Even if your 2 guards have to play 40 minutes.
I understand that. But when you got Nickelberry back, then that's when you should have turned it on a little bit more. And you had Midland over. He looked pretty good for us.
Midland never looked healthy. Jake, you know that. Midland never looked healthy the entire year.
Well, do you press? Why do you press at the end of the game if you're down 10?
Because you can ask them to go hard for 5 minutes,
but you can't do that early.
For 40, yeah.
But he did. I can understand 5 minutes, but he did it with 2 minutes. Y'all go back and look at the game. It was the last 2 minutes. We were down 10 points, and that's when he decided to press. And if that ain't coaching, I don't know. I don't know what is. The pack line is all right, but you won't have to come out of that pack line every now and then. Like Rick Pitino, he switched up defense, and that's when he started really winning at U of L. Am I right or wrong?
I appreciate the call.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know what you want. I mean, Josh Nickelberry played in 6 games. He wasn't practicing in between.
Josh Nickelberry had strep or mono.
Yeah, and a messed up knee. Like he wasn't practicing. Chris Mack told you guys, I had a lot of practices with 6 and 7 scholarship guys.
Charles Minlin was late to all of his rotations. He did not even look at the basket offensively. Charles knows this. If Charles could start the season over, or Josh could start the season over, they would say I needed to be more of an offensive threat. So you're going to press with David and Johnson, David and Carleek, who you already played 40 minutes a game.
I wish we had a David and a Johnson.
Yeah, just like I feel you, but like you that's you looking for confirmation bias. You're waiting for something you've already said. You start attacking the pack line. You don't care if you have the number 2 defense in the conference. You're number 9 ranked nationally in defensive efficiency, and you don't care. You just want to see pressing.
If I broke it down, I could really say with the injuries and everything, I can't believe he almost had us in the tournament. Do you think, just from what you watched this year, do you think a Hall of Famer and John Calipari could have took this Louisville team to anywhere remotely close to a tournament. Hell, he couldn't take 4 5-stars to a tournament.
Healthy.
Healthy. So I mean, good Lord, man.
Let me get back to this phone line, Steve, real quick. Keith, thanks for joining us on 93.9. Fire away. Keith, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
Yeah, I was just listening to everybody calling in, and the dynamics of the team. What people don't realize, they're not there every day, so they're going after Nickelberry, etc. Well, Nickelberry, yeah, he's had strep, so he didn't have strep all year. He's had his chance. What did he do with the rest of his time? Was he a guy that came in and put the extra effort in, or did he drop and go see his girlfriend after practice? That's the kind of guy you're looking for.
I mean, we're using him as an example. Like, by the way, like we don't want to just harp on one name or something.
Yeah,
like that,
yeah. I don't want to throw him under the bus. But your point as a macro, I do understand. Like, you if a guy leaves, you don't know what the whole story is there. So I do get what you're saying with that.
Right, you don't. That's what people don't realize. They're not on the inside watching them practice every day. The other thing is Carlik, great player, but I watched a lot of games this year. He comes across the mid-court stripe. Everybody's feet are in cement. Now, is he taking charge, running the offense? Probably not. But he's a great one-on-one player. But that's the thing. Who's going to run the offense? If you don't run the offense, doesn't matter. You can't go one-on-one all day long.
No, listen, kid, I appreciate the call. Listen, critique is great. I thought there should be more, faster cutting, faster motion, but again, I understand when you have 40-minute guards, like you're not going to have a bunch of, high speed motion the entire game. You kind of have to play at a controlled pace. I know people don't like that, but different teams have the ability of going different paces. Now, when you add in hypothetically now I got Carlik, Mason Faulkner, now I got, Pettifer, now I got I got four guard rotation. I got guys that can come in and know they're playing 31 minutes and they can go 1,000 miles an hour for their time in. You don't have to limit your practices. I got 6 guys to practice. 2 of them have strep and 2 of them are, out on COVID contact tracing and, all this kind of stuff. No, you're not going to have to juggle. Now I have 12 dudes that can play and 2 of them I can have summer workouts where they're playing 5-on-5 and the 2 guys that are sitting out got next, and then they're going to rotate, and play all day long. Freshmen, sophomores, ballers, like it's different. They did not have a summer to do any of this. Everybody's working out on their own. That is how that keep it in perspective with all this stuff.
Of all the quote unquote excuses. And like I said, I thought they were valid reasons, but on the Monday, I'm going to put them in excuses.
Right.
That one was the one that I thought he hit on, that I was like, okay, that one probably has the most validity to me. You literally got
take these 2, then we'll go to break.
I mean, that's brutal.
It's brutal. Brutal. I couldn't imagine not having a summer playing against DeJuan and Alvin and Tick and Everett. I could not imagine how crappy my game would be had I not played all my summer ball with just all summer long. Like, oh my God, that would be terrible. Yep. Keith, thanks for joining us on 93.9. What's on your mind?
Hey guys, this recruiting over stuff, I don't understand. I understand people's concerns, but it's been going on forever. Rick Pitino's first 5-10 years here was like a revolving door. I mean, we complained, someone would come and he'd recruit somebody else and then they would leave because they didn't get the playing time. Players nowadays have the ability to go and transfer and do whatever they want anytime they want. And that's just the nature of the beast. I wish I could go back 40, 50 years. I remember when I was growing up and the Steelers had the same players every year. It's not that way anymore. Sports is not that way, and our fan base is fickle. They want to win today, and they don't care if we had players with mono. They don't care that we had the youngest, one of the youngest rosters in the college, period.
Literally.
They don't care that they had no practice time in the summer. But then they turn around and say, well, I don't want to give, recruiting over players is horrible. Well, something's got to give. Your coach is expected to win, and let's face it, this is not a MAC team. His teams at Xavier were nasty. And we don't see that nasty streak in this team yet. And he's probably trying to build to get there. I want to see that streak. I want to see those guys out there. I want them to be fearless, every single one of them, and we're not seeing that yet. That's just the way I see it. I don't know, but
Keith,
I promise.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you go ahead.
Keith, listen, I appreciate the call, but I'm saying the nastiness is going to come through having a roster of 4 guys that can play the point guard, or 4 guys battling for 2 spots of starting. That's where your nastiness starts to grow. That's where your nastiness comes into play. When I got 5 centers out there I got Roosevelt, Gabe, and sometimes I stick Jalen Withers down there. And I have 7 guys that are actually fighting for limited minutes violently. That's where you get violent.
Truth be told, Marcus, as much as good as David and Carleek was, it's not healthy for them to really not have any competition.
Yeah, right.
They knew there's no way, and I'm not really putting that on them, but I don't think. You look at Carleek Jones.
No. Listen, you're saying Coach Davenport said, Marcus, you know what your problem is? There's no competition behind you. We're gonna solve that. So you come in, and then Eric Brown's all of a sudden in your room, looking jacked.
Yeah. Oh, golly.
Look, we got a transfer out of Eastern that comes in. He's 1.5 inches taller than you. He's about 30 pounds heavier than you. Duke it out.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Are we? What are we doing?
Let me get one more call, and then we need to hit our last break.
Okay, that's what I was wondering.
Okay, call got to be quick. Who we got? Matt, thanks for joining us on Middays with Marcus Maidman. Fire away.
Hey guys, I appreciate it. I'll be quick. What the thing about what I've seen from Mac, the way the team has reacted this year is I just haven't seen the urgency at the beginning of games and the beginning of the second halves. I know we've talked about this before, or it's been discussed, but against Duke, when you make that run, how do you come out in that second half and lay a total egg? And I put that 100% on the coaches. How do you not get these kids excited about the fact that you're going to make a run, you're going to beat these guys again? Let me
ask you this.
And then the only other comment I want to make, no at-large bids got in the tournament with less than 15 wins. At least I don't think any at-large bids did. We had 13.
Listen,
we didn't deserve to be there. We didn't win enough games,
Okay, I appreciate the call. Well, look, we didn't play anywhere near.
Yeah, I was gonna say nobody played the amount we played. We would have easily had 15 wins.
Right. We didn't play that amount. And again, out of every time Coach Mack busts Duke, what do you think they say? Coach didn't have the guys ready to play. He didn't have them urgent enough. Look how Louisville went on that huge run against them. They're saying the same thing from good coaches. Their team's not being ready. And and Coach K is saying the exact same thing. Trying to, it's tough to get our guys prepared to play, the COVID stuff. Coach K is saying the exact same thing Coach Mack is saying, and having the same results with his team, and has the same environment. Last commercial break, Middays with Marcus Maidman on 939 The Ville.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
The brackets are set. Now it's time to put your college basketball knowledge to the test with the ESPN Louisville Bracket Challenge. Register now at ESPNLouisville.com for your chance to win the grand prize, a Gorilla Goal from Steepleton's, or our second place prize, a summer mosquito treatment from OPC. For a full list of prizes and to register, visit ESPNLouisville.com. And it's all presented by UPS Jobs, Bet Rivers Sportsbook, SueDistractedDriver.com, the Kentucky Department of Fish and Wildlife, and Steepleton's.
Way back in 1860, Nelson's Greenbrier Distillery founder Charles Nelson introduced the world to the pleasures of Tennessee whiskey. A century and a half later, his great-great-great-grandsons have resurrected the family business and its finest creation, the original Tennessee whiskey. Nelson's Greenbrier Tennessee Whiskey, now available in Kentucky for the first time since Prohibition. Nelson's Greenbrier Tennessee Whiskey. We hope you'll agree it was worth the wait. Please enjoy responsibly.
U of L Health's expertise is now at more hospitals, medical centers, and physician practices, along with Brown Cancer Center and Fraser Rehab, making the impossible possible. That's the power of you. To learn more, visit uoflhealth.org.
Hi again, Brian Wiegand with Century Mortgage, a division of Bay Equity Home Loans. As many of you know right now, buying and selling in this market is extremely competitive. There's no better time to get ready. Being pre-approved can make the difference. It's a great time to call Century Mortgage or visit centurymortgage.com. Kentuckiana's premier mortgage lender. Century Mortgage, a division of Bay Equity Home Loans. We are here to get you home.
Century Mortgage Company is an equal housing lender, NMLS number 76988.
We opened our first location in 1995. Cox is more a convenience-driven brand, where Evergreen is more of a shopping experience.
The bourbon world has really kind of exploded over the last 5 to 10 years.
We are always bringing in new barrel picks that were hand-selected by our team.
My favorite part is the people.
Satisfying what their needs is our top priority. Cox's and Evergreen Liquors are Louisville's neighborhood liquor store. Visit our website, coxslouisville.com.
Louisville baseball plays on ESPN Louisville.
Got him looking, called strike three, and the Cards win.
As the Cards hope to make another trip to Omaha.
Hey, it's Sean Moff. Louisville baseball is in action again Friday on the road at NC State. You can hear all of the Ellison Bodenhausen coverage beginning at 6:20 right here on 93.9 The Ville and the ESPN Louisville app.
If it's Louisville baseball, it plays here on ESPN Louisville and the ESPN Louisville app.
People-friendly equipment, technology, and service for all of your print communication needs. Look no further.
Just whistle for duplicator sales and service.
Copy, scan, fax, send, or mail. Your unduplicated professionals can simplify the process with world-class network business machines from Ricoh and Savin. High-quality office equipment solutions and services, and the fairest possible price always for you. That's our commitment.
For today and tomorrow.
Catch up. And we're literally going to come back for like a couple minutes.
Division, Derby City Litho.
It's all good.
7110 Ricoh graphic print system.
That's fine. We'll just kind of come back if you want to do it, or if Steve's got to read or something.
Derby City Litho, corporate mail.
And we'll dip out again.
For duplicator sales and service.
I just got to catch up here.
55.
Still got about 2 minutes.
Sales.net, 831 East Broadway in Louisville, with offices in Elizabethtown and Lexington.
I'm former Louisville basketball player Luke Hancock. When the NCAA tried to take away the Most Outstanding Player Award from the 2013 tournament, I got it back, thanks to Morgan & Morgan. Morgan & Morgan is the personal injury firm that fights for the people, and their team treats clients like family. Morgan & Morgan changed my life, and if you've been injured in a car crash, at work, or in a slip and fall, they may be able to change yours. For a free consultation, dial #LAW on your cell phone. That's #529, offices Louisville.
Now might be the best time to give a gift of fine jewelry. It's a sure way to bring a smile to someone's face. At Shane Company, we make shopping easy. Stop by our store, where we're going above and beyond to keep you safe and healthy. Enjoy the sparkle of our diamonds, the vibrant color of our natural gemstones, the luster of our cultured pearls. Visit us online to shop the same great selection. Not sure where to start? We have fantastic online tools to help you find the perfect gift. Looking for something for yourself? You can try on anything virtually with your phone and even drop a hint. Our jewelry consultants are happy to make suggestions and answer your questions. If you'd like, you can set up an in-store or a virtual appointment. Now you have a friend in the jewelry business. Shane Company and shaneco.com.
ESPN Louisville is again your exclusive home for live play-by-play of the NCAA tournament.
Coming back 30 and 1. We'll stay for like 2-3 minutes and we'll dip.
Which begins Friday at noon on ESPN 680, 105.7, and streaming on the ESPN Louisville app.
And the Kentucky coronation is complete. Champions 2012.
The NCAA tournament on ESPN Louisville is presented by Bill Collins Ford, UPS Jobs, and fueled by Kroger.
This is Drew Diener, and you're listening to 93.9 The Ville, live from the OPC Services Studio.
It's Irish. St. Patrick's Day. No. Hold on. Still gotta wait for the liner.
Days with Marcus Maben on 93.9 The Ville is broadcasting live from the OPC Pest.
$50. 93.9 is the number. 93.9 is the station. I just had a couple of quick things that I wanted to get to before we got out of here. First and foremost, blame my moodiness on my mistake. That was not traditional Dana. That was a lady Dana who said, you know, she wants the development of Coach Mack. Now look, now I feel terrible because I'm like, listen, I was that guy who brought his old problems home to the house, and it's like, what are you talking about? You don't know anything.
That's pretty funny. Yeah.
So okay. So, but Dana, thanks for listening. Thanks for engaging into the show. And she wanted she wanted to let me know, and they know their stuff. So watch my mouth.
Fair enough.
Getting threatened on the text line. Also, one other thing, Mason Faulkner. I just got a what was it? Kind of a bat line. Mason Faulkner's mother, Meredith Faulkner, went to U of L in the early 90s. We should get him.
Okay.
Attorney Bailey. Thank you so much.
That'll work.
Thank you for that information. Early 90s. Okay. And one more thing, Steve.
Okay.
Because I've been getting message pretty much nonstop. What did Jalen want?
Yes.
Are you still curious?
I am curious.
Now, I can't really go into detail, of course, but I can say let's just say I'll be able to retire much earlier than originally expected. There's a package that got put together for me.
Well, that works for me.
So that might, listen, unfortunately, y'all, that might mean a few less years of the show.
That's fair enough. But listen, you deserve it.
I've given you listen, I got y'all through some hard times.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was pumped about that. Shout out to my son. He loves me. It's great. You know, it's awesome. Is there anything you want to throw in before we get out here? Because Brian's still got to catch up on commercials.
I do really quick. Let me remind people to address competitive hiring climate in Louisville area. UPS will offer a retention employees on select shifts will receive an additional $300 weekly bonus. Learn how you can graduate debt-free. Now offering a $75 bonus for all night shift employees, not including the $100. So if an employee works nights Sunday through Thursday, their weekly bonus is $175. Visit upsjobsky.com for more information.
Also want to give a shout out to Double Dogs, the fetch and go deal. If you're looking for something to do on your St. Patrick's Day night, but still a little bit worried about going out, use the fetch and go process at Double Dogs. Or if you're looking to